I did eventually get to be a desk officer. There he is, Corporal Derdram. And as you can see from the shot, my head is just touching the sweep of the set. Originally I was much too high, and if you look at the actual position in that, you can see that I'm neither standing nor sitting really. Irving Kirsch was a little concerned that I was affecting the shot, the mise-en-scène. So I suggested to him, I said, well, why don't I just crouch down for a few minutes while you do the shot? And that's what we did. And he was a really approachable person. He treated us all with enormous respect, and I have everything but admiration for the man. His death has really been a tragic loss to the movie industry, because he's a great teacher as well. So anyway, and I stood like that for about 10 minutes while they took the shot, and walked like a proverbial Western cowboy for the rest of the shoot, I think. Yeah, I remember the Hoth Rebel base very well. It was a huge set, you know, took up the whole of the soundstage. There were sets within sets, because down one side there was a painted wall of perspective vistas of X-Wing fighters, etc., which was phenomenal. The way it was, I mean, the decoration was unbelievable. It was so well done. And then they put the X-Wing fighters, and that's when we did the evacuation ourselves, running away into the big doors at the end. Well, I remember that the crew wanted us to get sort of an effect of danger, and they were throwing debris at us, which was actually bits of broken polystyrene, and I resolved that if one hit me, I'd collapse and die a death. Fortunately, it didn't hit me, but that was quite exciting. And the funny thing is, I remember vividly doing a scene as a stormtrooper and rushing in at the other end, but that doesn't appear in the film. No, I was never a snow trooper, and it wasn't until later it was confirmed to me that there had in fact been some shots of stormtroopers entering the rebel base at one point, but they weren't used in the final film, so my memory hadn't totally eluded me. Yes, I didn't have as much to do on the filming of The Return of the Jedi. I was in the big sequence when Darth Vader and the Emperor arrive. Not as many stormtroopers in reality as it appears. And I was in the evacuation from the second Death Star. I was running down the corridor as a stormtrooper, of course, and they used to have these little droids moving around, these kind of robotic things, like little racing car type things, but they're meant to be droids moving around to get a sense of movement in the scene. I tripped over one of these, fell over and smashed the thing to smithereens. Well, not to smithereens, but I damaged it, and I do remember that very clearly. The other sequence I was involved with, of course, was one of the Endor sequences. Now, all the externals were filmed at the Redwood Forest in America, but there were some internal shots, and one of those was Luke Skywalker's partial surrender. And I'm the stormtrooper with him there. Additionally, there was some shots we did, some very peculiar shots we did away from the main stage with Darth Vader that never saw light in the final film, and I believe the reason for that was, as Richard Bonehill kindly pointed out, was this was to facilitate the mask removal of Darth Vader, which of course Dave Prowse was not involved in. I don't really want to say further than that.